Hello everyone, welcome to my video. So today we will talk about Go error handling in production. So right now, so if you have written Go for more than 5 minutes, you have definitely came across this line error not equals to nil, and return error definitely. So this is used over and over. And if you have read any a Go discussion online, you know this is the number one complaint about the language. But here is the thing, the complaint isn't about the pattern, the complaint is about how most people use the pattern. Because there is a massive difference between this particular pattern and the pattern which I am which I will walk you through in this video, which is this pattern. So say that one line, right? This is the line that is fmt.Errorf with ampersand w is the difference between spending 5 minutes debugging the production issues versus spending 5 hours whenever there is any production issue. And most Go tutorial never show you this. So today I am going to show you three levels of error handling that I use in every production Go service: sentinel errors, custom error type, and error wrapping. So these are the three levels. With real working code, you can run. Uh, so by the end of this video, you will handle errors like a senior Go engineer. Uh, so let me show you again. This is based on the previous video itself. So this is the structure of the project. So the same structure we followed in the last video, where we have a CMD. Inside that we have a server. We are writing main.go. Playground.go is nothing but some sample code to show some random code that I have written here. So you can ignore this. So this is the folder structure. So I'm building basically on the same project from my last video. The production Go structure. If you haven't seen that, there is a link in the description I will add. But you don't need it everything I will show today in you don't need to go through that video. I will in today's video I will show everything which is self-contained. So let me walk you through the three levels. Let me open the error.go inside models. So this is level 1, sentinel errors. These are the simplest form of error handling in Go. You create a package level variable with errors.new, and the caller checks it with error.As. So if I go through this thing, you see that we are checking this using errors.As. So we are checking whether it is error user not found or error email taken. This works fine when you only need to know which error happened. Is it not found? Is it duplicate? Simple yes or no question. But here is what most tutorials stop, and here is what production code needs more, right? Because you can have any kind of errors. So so whenever such case happen, when your API return just bad request, so your front end has no idea what went wrong. Was it a email, the name, a missing field? They have to guess, or worse, they open a ticket asking you to check the log. So this is where level 2 comes in, right? So if you see the level 2, we have added some meta information with the error. uh, so level 2 is a custom error type. Instead of simple string that we have here, what we have here is we define a struct that implements the error interface, right? We are implementing the error interface here. uh, and here is the validation error in the struct that we create. Now one method, so this is the method that we are so we have to implement the error interface. That's all Go require. And it type should be it's a method name is error and it should return string. But now this error carries metadata, the field that failed, and a human readable message that you can show to the front end dev. They can use it and perform action based on it. And look how we have used it in the models validation, right? Let me open user.go. So in the user.go, Let me open. There is a validate method. Yeah. Yeah, correct. So if you see this, how we are using this struct is whenever we have to validate the name email, we are validating and then we are throwing. If there is an error, we are creating a struct of this validation error type, right? The caller or basically the handler uses error.As to extract the metadata. Let me show you that as well. Uh, where is our handler? Yeah. So yeah. So if you see that, not found. So if you see this, how we are doing is this is one hero function of this entire video handle error. Every single handler method call this one function. So if you see this, it is called by multiple functions. Uh, every s- so every single handler method call this one function when something goes wrong, right? So this is the code for it. Let me do one thing. Let me this. So error.As, right? If we see this particular piece, does something incredible. It walks the entire error chain, correct? It walks the entire error chain, even if error was wrapped three times by different layer. So error.As, it's a function, digs through all of them until it finds the validation error. If it finds one, it fills in your target variable. So which is what we are supplying here, right? This validation error. It fills in our target variable with the actual error, and you have to access, and we can access dot fields and dot message, which is the type, which is the field of this particular error. So if you see, this is the difference. So instead of returning just simple plain request error, something bad request, now API return a better, basically rich error context, I would say. Like it says that error is email is required and field is email, something like that. So this is now your front end developer can programmatically handle the right input field. No guessing, no Slack messages or no ticket. So it will cause less headache. Uh, Let me also show you. This is one kind of custom error that we created. But there are other custom error that you can create, like you can do the same thing for not found, which is creating a struct and then implementing the error interface. And similarly, we can also have a conflict error. It is also like we have created a new struct and then we are implementing the error interface. So adding a new error type to your ad, right? Adding a new, this is the error type, one new struct in error.go and one new uh, so whenever you are adding, let's say these are the three things right now we have added, these three different our custom error type. Whenever you have to like add any new different type, what you can do is you can add it here and you can just directly use error.s check. You also have to add error.s check to check in the handle error function. That's it. So this is what level 2 contains, where we are defining our custom error type. Now there is a level 3 which is error wrapping. So let me open user service.go, right? If you see this particular line. So level 3 is error wrapping. This is the pattern that replaces stack trace in Go, right? If you have seen maybe in Java or maybe other code, you have seen whenever there is some failure happens, it printed an entire stack trace. So you can traverse through that stack trace and pinpoint where the code has failed. So, but Go doesn't give you a stack trace on errors. Other languages, like as I said, like Java and Python, right? When you throw an exception, you get a full trace of every function is passed through. Go doesn't do that. Instead, Go gives you something better for production, which is called as error wrapping. So every layer, so this, as I in the previous video, as I said, that we are building our application layer by layer, right? So every layer adds its own context using fmt.Errorf, this line with ampersand w. So what it will do is it will wrap the error. Now when the handlers, right, when if you, so ultimately everything, so when the handler will get this error, so what will happen is, let's suppose uh, let's say whenever we are creating a user which already have an email, right? If we already have an email in our database, the user is getting created with the same email. So what is getting printed is that uh, it will print this line, service create user. Then in the repository, right, it checks for email already taken, so it is also get printed. So something like this will be printed in the stack trace, which is like this one, which is service create user, repository create user, conflict on email, email already taken. So it gives a rich information on what went wrong. So you read it like a breadcrumb trails. Service layer try to create the user, uh, create a user, and it called the repository which found a conflict on email, and conflict on email field. You know exactly what happened and where it happened, right? So this is what it is. Now let me also show you one more thing. So now here is one of the mistakes that mostly happens is instead of using w, we use v here, right? So what happens is that so let's suppose if you do this right now, so what will happen, right? So it does not preserve your error chain. So what will happen is that, let's say, as I showed you here, so what is why how this output is getting printed is because the error is chain is getting preserved, right? But if you use v here, the error chain will not preserve. So it's always use w here to preserve the error chain. V generally, when we use v, it converts the error to a string, so it's gone, right? You can't use errors.As or errors.Is as on it anymore. The handlers, which is here, uh, yeah, handler error function would fall through to the default case, so it won't check this as since it won't match it because you have used ampersand v, so it will directly fall to the default case, right? So always, it's whenever you are wrapping an error, always use ampersand w. uh, so it will wrap the error. The original error is still in the chain. Your errors.as can still find your conflict error buried inside like 3 layers of wrapping. So yeah, it's just one character difference between w and v is the difference between useful error response and internal server error in production. Remember this. So if you don't want to spend more time in debugging, just try to like uh, don't use ampersand v, instead use ampersand w. So let me show you also one more thing. We also have a recovery middleware here. So what it does, so this is one more production pattern called as recovery middleware. So what it does is it catches the panic. So if you see the recover, if you know about recover, so whenever panic happens, it will catch here. So without this, what happens, think of it like any of the code is returning a nil pointer issue, right? In any handler crashes. So what will happen is, if any of the places, if you don't have this recovery middleware, any panic will crash the entire server. So with this, one request gets a 500, the panic is logged with the stack, with the full stack trace, and the server keeps running. So every production Go API should use this. Now let me go to the main.go. So how I will show you how it is wired. So so it is wired in basically in the main.go. So if you see, we are using middleware wraps the entire mux, right? So this is how we are adding the middleware. Recovery, we have added it as the last step, basically kept it at outmost, so it catches panic from any handler or any other middleware. So there might be the case, instead of handler, the middleware is giving a panic, right? Maybe a logging middleware. So if I put recovery middleware above logging middleware, so it won't be able to catch the panic from the logging middleware. So that's why recovery middleware should be at top, so that whenever a panic is thrown, it will catch by recovery middleware. So yeah, that's the pattern. So yeah, I mean that's about it. I mean, I can give you let's recap the three level quickly. Level one is sentinel errors, like we have error.new variable uses, which you can use errors.S to check, good for basic identity check like not found. Then we have And level 2, where we are defining the custom error types, struct that implement the error interface. We can use errors.As to extract the metadata like field name and IDs. This is what make your API response actually useful. Then we have level 3. Then we have level 3, where we are doing error wrapping with fmt.Errorf and %w. So each layer add context, building a breadcrumb trail that replaces stack trace. And remember, always remember that don't use %v, always use %w when you are doing error wrapping. That one character make or break your error chain. And the pattern that all ties it together, one centralized handle error, so which is this one, where we are checking the different error type. uh, uh, so basically it is using errors.As to map domain error to HTTP response. You have to write it once and use it everywhere. The biggest mistake I see, don't over engineer your errors for a new project. Start with sentinel error. When you need metadata, promote to custom type. When you need cross layer debugging, add wrapping. So evolve, like your error should evolve like as your code base evolves. Uh, so yeah, that's about it. So yeah, if this helped you, hit definitely please hit subscribe. I'm posting new Go videos every week. Sometime I also post the AI videos. Do drop a comment telling me your biggest error handling frustration in Go. I want to know. See you in the next one. Thank you.